Hi everyone, Empress Justice here. If you'd like to see any daily readings, you can check out Empress Justice Tarot on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to actually check out the latest reading that I did it yesterday. I said I was going to do it next week, but I thought it would be too late. I've done the new moon in a Rave-RT reading. That's on Instagram and that is also on YouTube. It might be easy to go on YouTube, but I've only done one daily in front of the live from yesterday, so you might be able to catch it on Instagram. Well, I say might, you will. So if you want to check out the new moon and Rave-RT reading that I've done, you can check it out. Yeah, Instagram and YouTube. So oh yeah, Fabian Deacon vocals on Instagram as well if you want to check out some vocals, or not. I haven't uploaded any recent videos. I'm still a bit stage frighty, and I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with my voice, but I have like really bad stage fright, so I don't upload my voice very often. But if you'd still like to check it out, you can. Update on me. I think something went wrong with my programming from yesterday with regards to the targeting. I feel like it was supposed to make me manic, but this is the thing. I've been abused for a really, really long time, and I've had a lot of instances where I've been in a manic state. So for me, when that happens, instead of kind of letting it take a hold over me, I realize that when I'm in that state, I have all this extra energy. So I just put it towards my work. I just put it towards my readings. I just put it towards, cleaning up my place, and, I just put it towards more productive things, because that's a state that I'm actually used to. I'm literally usually kept in that state by constant abuse and constant electronic torture and Havana syndrome. So by now I'm used to the feeling of being manic. I'm used to that feeling. But then when it comes over me, instead of like just fucking acting out and wilding out, like I can feel when I'm about to dissociate. I can feel when I'm about to do something that's not productive. So instead I put my energy into doing something productive. So that reading yesterday, which was also really good, it was a really good reading. I did that in an induced state. Do you understand what I'm saying? And but the thing is that because I have such self-awareness, and because I have such awareness of how my illness affects me, I don't let it get to a destructive place. I always try to manage it. And, so with me being in that state, like, it doesn't affect me that badly. It really, really doesn't. Instead, I just end up being more productive and being more productive. And, I recognize the creativity that's flowing through my brain, and I make the most of it. Whatever state I'm in, whether it be manic or calm, or, whether I be really, really sick or anything like that, I find a way to make the most of it, and I find a way to make myself productive. So yeah, that's the short end. That's the short end of that. Like, I just find a way. I always find a way. So what else was I gonna say? Because I know that my neighbors are gonna get on this video and then try to use it against me, but I'm functioning, so it's not a problem. Speaking of my neighbors, all of them have kind of been a bit worried that I haven't been upset by the noise disturbance and the taunting, but the little girl in particular has just been completely obsessed. It's getting to the point now where the children cannot function if they don't get a rant out of me after causing noise disturbance or after waking me up and after waking me up when I'm sleeping or what have you. It's getting to a point now where if I'm not being upset by what they're doing to me, like they literally can't function, and the girl is actually the worst because she's talking about putting curses on me and shit. I'm like, I'm not focused on you. Like, what are you doing? I'm not focused on you. And this is exactly what happens. This is what happens when girl children are mistreated. And the reason I say that is because this little girl fucking got, like, she was screamed at. She's been screamed at for doing like the most minor shit. And yet when she does really, really bad things, everybody just crowds around and say, oh, she's only a child. She feels like shit. She feels like... So what you keep doing is when she does the tiniest shit, you're screaming at her, you're getting at her all the time. And then when she does big shit and when she causes bigger problems, suddenly she's only a child and she doesn't know what's going on. Well, why is she not only a child when she does minor things that might be annoying, but that are inconsequential in the long run? Why is she not only a child then? Why is she only a child when she's like literally talking about doing serious things to another person because she feels bad? But why is she only a child then? And what about the boy? The boy's not sleeping. The boy doesn't carry on like that. He doesn't like me either. He's an annoying little shit, but he doesn't carry on like that. What about how his sleep has been affected? What about how he's feeling? What about how he's feeling? What about how all this is affecting him? How about how it's affecting him, knowing that his mother is lying to him and knowing that his elders are lying to him over and over again? How do you think he feels? You know what I mean? Like, stop it. Every single person is upset with me over shit that they have caused. Why do you need an internet rant that badly? What is going on in your psyche that you need an internet rant that badly? Let's just say, for argument's sake, that my mental illness suddenly just invalidates any claims of Havana syndrome and targeting. Let's just put that on the table for a moment. Even if the gang stalking was not true, if it's not true, then what the fuck is with the obsession? There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. And everybody knows damn well it's not just the children who are obsessed with it. The adults have been talking about it as well. They just make sure that they're out of the house when they do it. And they just make sure they keep their voices down. You think all them late night conversations that the mother's been having with the fucking gang stalkers is lost on me? I can't cope? Nah. The children are not the only ones who are obsessed. They're not the only ones. So where do you think the kids are getting it from? Every single person in that family is fucking like upset with me over shit that they created. From their own madness and their own stupidity. I swear a couple of weeks ago, the little girl was talking about revenge. Revenge for what? Revenge for what? I'm the one who has been I'm the one who has had people try to section me for hurting their feelings, and this little idiot is talking about revenge. That whole family's crazy. You want to talk about fucking, like, that whole family is nuts. They're obsessed with me. It's ridiculous. Like, again, the only reason why I'm not as traumatized as I could be is because I've had people be obsessed with me before, and I've had to deal with a lot worse people than them. That is the only reason why I've gone from throwing tantrums and fucking screaming and yelling to just being like, you know what? Because I've had to deal with worse people than this before. Way worse. Around here, everybody's keeping quiet because, you know, this is a small village and people talk. And if people are on my internet and they know about gang stalking and they know about Havana syndrome, then they know I'm not making any of it up. And this is a small village. Everybody knows what's going on. Especially if they've been looking online and they've been looking at my videos. So everybody knows, like, this is not Harlesden. This is not Willesden Green. You know, if it's a mental health thing, a mental illness thing, then everybody knows what's going on. If it's the mentally ill community, everybody knows what's going on and everybody knows I'm not making it up. If I ever got my toe into the creative industries, then everybody will know and everybody will know that I'm not making it up because the creative world is very, very small. And just like round here in Woodingdean, I shouldn't have said the village I was in, but round here in Woodingdean, this is a farming village. Everybody knows everybody and everybody's been talking. Do you seriously think at least one of them ain't been online and looked at my videos? And again, they're going to know I'm not making this shit up. And the thing is, that family's been walking around trying to not say the word mad. Oh, she's not mad. Okay, well, what was your first clue? I'm asking. What was your first clue? And what do you know? And just because you don't say that word, it doesn't mean other people ain't going to say that word. Because again, even without gang stalking, people are still talking. The damage is done. Once the dam has been bust, how do you fucking fix it? I have never been in a situation where I am almost entirely blameless for everything that's going on. This has never happened to me before. Usually, when I'm in a situation like this, even with gang stalkers, there is something and there is some part that at some point I did something wrong. At some point I did something wrong. Not here. Not here. I've never been in this situation before. You know, I said before that I shouldn't have cussed out the kids and shouldn't have I realize now that I was being overly nice. I was being overly nice considering everything that's happened. I'm sorry, I'm just watching the birds out there, being distracted. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's what happens, you know, with women and with children. You know, we like with women and with girls. The thing is that like, you know, we're restricted so much in what we do and say. It's like we can't fucking breathe. But then when we do something big and we do something awful and serious, it's like now people want to feel sorry for us. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And then they want to turn around and say women are crazy. Literally nitpicking everything that girls do and everything that women do. And then when we do something serious, they're like, oh no, that's just what women are like. Bullshit. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. And that's exactly what's happening to that little girl. Everything she fucking does, everybody hates her for. And yet as soon as she does something serious, oh, she's only a kid. She's only a... Shut the fuck up. You know? It's like people can forgive you for being evil, but they can't forgive you for being annoying. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So anyway, that's enough about them. Have you seen Truth and Visions videos on TikTok about Hunter Biden? Oh my Lord. Oi, listen. The Bidens are getting exposed left and right out here. But this is the thing. Now everybody's saying, oh, Trump was cleaning house. Trump was cleaning house. Trump was playing a role. Let's be real about the situation. All the exposure of the so-called left, and I say the so-called left because they're fucking neoliberals, all the, the exposure of the so-called left celebrities and, and politicians, exposing all these people who have done so much wrong and so many awful things, and everybody credits Trump for that. My thing is this. I've said it for years. I remember when I was really sick and I would go on these internet rants, right? And I said something along the lines of, the Pied Piper is about to get the rats up out the city and then claim your children. Now, what I meant by that was that the current status quo, remember, there's a reset happening. The current status quo that is edging closer towards enlightenment, edging closer towards ending white supremacy, edging closer towards ending patriarchal supremacy, edging closer towards ending Judeo-Christian or monotheistic supremacy, like the current status quo that are being revealed to be closer towards ending these things. The powers that be within that status quo are being exposed for a reason. It's about a changeover of power. Now, do I want child abusers to speak for me? No. Do I want child abusers to be making decisions for me? No. Do I want spoilt rich people making decisions for me? No, I don't. But the truth of the matter is that what we're watching right now with Hunter Biden, with Joe Biden, what we've been watching with Hollywood, all of that is just, we are watching the rats being led out of the city. That is all we're seeing. The Pied Piper ain't shown up yet. Remember, the Pied Piper ain't shown up yet. Okay? All the rats are being led out of the city. They're being exposed. That's all that's happening. What I want to know is who's the Pied Piper and where's he at? Because when he arrives, he's taking the kids. And now what I meant by that when I was sick was that, think about the Holocaust. Think about the Hitler Youth. Think about that. Think about children being recruited. I mean, it's already happening. I'm literally being gang stalked, and there have been children involved in every step of my case. So the Pied Piper might be already here, and I just don't know who they are, right? You've got child spies. You've already got child spies who are being paid in cigarettes and being paid in technology and being paid in all kinds of crap in order to engage in counterintelligence against people selected for weapons experimentation. So you've already got child spies. You've already got child spies. Now we're waiting for child soldiers. Now we've already got child spies and child informants, remember. Now we're waiting for child soldiers. Now we're waiting for child victims of the Holocaust. Now we're waiting for another Operation Paperclip. Now we're waiting for another Holocaust to happen. And, something else I forgot to mention is that, forget children, fetuses are being attacked by weapons technology while the mother is carrying them. So before the children are even born yet, they're hit with non-ionized radiation and electronic torture. Let alone when they're children, let alone when they're babies. When they are fetuses in the womb and the mother decides to carry it full term, children are attacked in the womb. Now think about what I've already been through. Can you imagine me as a responsible human being bringing a baby into the world, knowing what I've already gone through, for that child to go through the same thing? I'm going to be real. Hands on the table, like cards on the table, cards on the table, cards on the table. I do want kids, and I do want to be a mother, but my mother's sacrifice is not having children. Is not bringing them into a world where they end up being born Havana syndrome victims and going through this intergenerational hell. So all this exposure of the Bidens and exposure of careless people, the exposure of the Epsteins, exposure of the Maxwells, exposure of the Prince Andrews. It's just the rats being led out of the city. The Pied Piper has slowly but surely been taking children, been taking future generations. I mean, the far right is already on the rise, so yeah. The Pied Piper's been taking the kids. And as bad as those people are, and as evil and as sick and as degenerate as those people are, we're about to be replaced by something far worse, because the people that they're being replaced with, they use that shit ritually. They're not just going around indulging in their addictions. When they abuse children, they're doing it ritually. So they're casting they're casting even more of a demonic spell over everyone than these fucking degenerates are. Because everything that they do is ritualistic. There's magic inherent in the torture and the rape of citizens. There's a ritualistic element to it more than these so-called Satanists. The ones coming up, everything they do is ritualized. So on top of them abusing and torturing children and women and men, on top of all of that, there's a ritualistic element to it, which means they are using their torture and their murder and everything else in order to cast a spell over everyone else. So that's why I don't fuck with this. There's certain things I don't fuck with. There are certain things I don't fuck with. Somebody put the question to me, what's worse? Is it worse that somebody abuses people recreationally, or is it worse that somebody abuses people ritually? And I said, well, preferably nobody should be abused. But I guess ritually isn't as bad because not as many people are getting hurt. No, it's worse. If it's ritually, it's worse. If it's ritually, it's worse. And then to get the public on board on that basic chain, on that egregore, to get ordinary citizens be a part of that egregore, of that magical chain, it's casting a demonic spell over everyone. People think we're in demon times now. You don't fucking know. You don't know. You don't fucking know. You have no clue. You have no idea. We're living in times where the feminine is increasingly feared and people feel increasingly victimized by nature. And what it's going to lead to is an age where nature is filtered down and distilled, and everything is made quote unquote beautiful. What we're talking about is eugenics. It's already happening. You got RNA sequencing. If you haven't looked up RNA sequencing in relation to race, look that up. Look that up. That's what we're paving the way for. I wish with my whole heart that we didn't have to deal with fucking 6 scumbags in power. I really, really wish that. Like, if I could have my way, the only people who would be leading would be the people who had the moral responsibility to lead. This is a mess. This world is a mess, and you have no idea how much a mess of this world is. Like, you have no idea the fuckery that goes on, the fuckery that's really going on. You have no clue. And what I'm saying is not going to make any sense now. But trust me, wait in a few years, 2030, it's going to make all the sense then. Trust me on that. When it comes to the war, I don't know. I don't know when them bombs are dropping, if they are at all. I might have been wrong about that, but when it comes to the Pied Piper, I ain't wrong about this. You know why I'm not feeling hopeful? It's because all these people are being exposed now when it's of no real risk to the rest of us to expose them. That's the thing that tips me off. That's the thing that makes me think, yeah, it's not going to be replaced by anything better, because we're just too self-interested for that to happen. They're just too self-interested. Maybe if these politicians were exposed like 40 or 50 years ago, maybe if there was a Me Too movement 40 or 50 years ago, maybe if the racism of black people were, against black people were being exposed in the 30s, maybe if people stood up for what was right earlier, maybe it would mean something. But like, all our protests and all our outrage and all our exposing, it doesn't mean jack shit now, because we did it at a time where it was of no real risk to us, and we're gonna have to pay for it. Even with the Havana syndrome, that shit is not going to be revealed unless the public feel there is some advantage to them. And then Havana syndrome is going to be commodified and, not gentrified, but that's going to be commodified and turned into something else. Watch. So that's why I don't feel hopeful about the Bidens being exposed or anybody being exposed. It's just too little too late. It's just the rats being led out of the city. It's just the Pied Piper leading the rats out of the city. But they're coming for the kids next. How is it that I could be severely ill back then and have more sense than everyone else? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. But yeah, I've got the day off. I got the day off. I don't have to do anything. I've done all my work today. So I don't know what to do. I have all this free time. I might just clean my house a bit more. Clean my bathroom. It's not bad. My bathroom isn't bad, but maybe clean or something. Got the whole day to myself. Damn. Yeah. Might just do that. But I love you guys. Take care. My fellow TI, stay strong. We're living in interesting times. You know, I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.